how about you just type print and code, a single code. You just type it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Okay, so you will click run and it will output here. It is Wednesday. Okay, so what I want you to do today is like, if I type an input, like for example I type 1, and you should show me Monday. It is Monday. If I type 2 as the input, you should show me Tuesday. And 3 of course is Wednesday today. And 4 is Thursday. And 5 is Friday. And 6, if I type 6, you should like you should have a Saturday. And if I type 7, you should have Sunday. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's just make a program. If you would say, for example, you would say like, I remove this part. I would say, please type a number. Okay, like this. And I would have a number like, for example, I would have a number. For example, I have a variable to get to hold the number. So I input from the input. So like the number is, if I type is 1, and then you should show print that it is Monday, something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna run it and let you know what happened. I'm gonna run. So I would type, for example, 1, and it will say it is Monday. You would have the input, and I put the input into a variable. So again, you would say, what is called variable? Variable, you can think about just like a box or a pocket, and you can put the things inside to the box, and somehow later you can pull it out and from this box. Like I named the box to be N, but you can name the box to any name, like a box or any or a day or any day, any name you want. But of course, there's for Python there's some reserved keyword. You're not allowed to put to name it in that way. But since we are just at the beginning, you're not going to hit those keywords. So it's good to name it in any name. Okay. So here we have the input to be to an N. So, but what I want is like, if you type a number to be 1, and it should show Monday. If you type 2, it should be Tuesday. If I type 3, it should be Wednesday, and 4 is Thursday, 5 is Friday, and 6 is Saturday, and 7 should be Sunday. So how are we going to do that? And probably is easy. But the first thing I want to do is because when you type 1, it is a string. So I usually want to convert them into a number. So that's why we use something called int. Int stands for integer. So, and put the input inside in the function called int. So whatever inside the behind the function name int, and there should be a parenthesis, exactly like the print. So inside here, like anything between the parentheses, we call it parameters. So we call it parameters. Or if you have multiple parameters, it's parameters. And here, so since we have an n, and we convert it to number 1 to 7. Okay? So you might just say, if n is equal to 1 with a column here, and I'm going to print it is Monday. Okay? And now we should have this new code. Of course, you should do if n is 2, then you can print it is Tuesday, right? So let me run this program and see it work or not. So I'm going to run it. I'm going to hit number 1 and hit enter. It says it's Monday. And try it again, run. And I hit number 2, it is Tuesday. So I will give you 5 minutes. You are going to finish this code. If you are already finished it, I want you to continue to work on this program to can get the function from 1 to 7. If you type 7, it should show it is Sunday. So what I'm going to do is just like I'm copy and paste and paste. And I'm going to fix here. If n is equal to 3, it should be Wednesday. And if n is equal to 4, it is Thursday. And if n is equal to 5, it is Friday. And again, if n is 6, it should be Saturday. If n is 7, it is Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna test my program and I will run it. And if I type, for example, 3 and hit enter, it is Wednesday. And again, and if I run it and I type 5, it should be Friday. Okay? If I type 6, Saturday, that's good. If I type 7, should be Sunday. And if I type 8, it doesn't output anything. So you would say, hey, George, if I type 8, what should I just output something, you will say, how about I want to show invariant number, invariant things, invariant number. Okay, so how are we going to do that? So in Python, you can do if and else. Like for example, if it's not this and else. So you know what I mean? It's like you can do if else, something like this, and then print invariant number, something like this. So I'm gonna run it and see it work or not. And I will type 1. It's Monday, and I'm gonna run it again. I type 2. It will show invariant number. It is Tuesday. You will say, hey, what's wrong with this? Why is showing invariant number? The reason is because when we go to this block, think about that. In our program, it will run line by line. So if you have the first one, it will run here. Line 1, it will print it output here. And the second one is going to have the input from the, when you type a number. So you would have the n, put it into the variable n. And then you go to the line 4, and you will say, is it n equal to 1? If it is equal to 1, and we're going to print it is Monday. Otherwise, if it is not 1, otherwise it will print invariant number. But you said, wait a minute, I haven't finished all of this yet. So what should we do? I want to do all of them. If they're not it, and I'm going to print invariant number. So one of the way is like you are not going to do it on the first if. You should do it on the last one. On the last one. On the last one. Okay? But what I want you to do is like in Python, there's something called else if. But in Python, it would say else if. Okay? So it will connect together. If not n is not equal to 1, and then it will jump to this condition. Else if actually is else if n is equal to 2, and then we are going to print it is Tuesday. And again, for number 3, you just type else if. For number 4, else if. Number 5 is else if. Number 6, else if. Number 7, else if. And for anything left, it will print invariant number. And now I'm going to test my program and see it work or not. So I'm going to just type, for example, number 8. And it will show invariant number, which means it will go all the way directly to invariant number. What I want you to do is change your program, and this time you type number 8 or number 9 or number 0 and see if it can show invariant number. Okay, I will repeat the question again. So this time I'm not going to code it, and I want you to finish the question. So you are going to create a program and you want the users to type a number. Please type a number. If someone type a number 1, and you should output red. If they type 2, you should output blue. If they type 3, you should output yellow. And if you type something else like 0, and you set invalid color code, something like this. Okay, I'm going to go back to the W3 schools. So I'm going to see, I'm going to click here. It's called what Python if else, like Python if else. So we already learned this Python if else. So let's go through this. So in the Python if else, and we should have conditions, which we already used. And because we in Python, we usually use a single equal. So like a single equal is going to say is assign a value to a variable. So you use single equal to assign a value to a variable. Like number 33, you assign it to an A. But if you have double equal, like double equal, what we already used is called equals. It's exactly like what we learned in the math, but in math we use single equal. But in Python we use double equal to evaluate they are the same or not. Like if A equal to B or B equal to C, or we use double equal. Okay, if it's not equal, you say if n is not equal to 3, so you use this one to do not equal. And of course, if you use less than, you use the arrow key, like the right arrow key or left arrow key. For the left arrow key is less than. And if you put a equal here, is like less than and equal. And again, it's greater than, and use the right arrow key, and greater and equal, greater than and equal. So, but today we are not going to learn this, and on Sunday we are going to go through all these conditions. So you will know how to use equal, not equal, less than, greater than. Okay, and if you go down here, is saying something called indention. So what you do here is like we already did. We leave two space in the after the if statement. This if statement after this column, and we put two space. In Python, you can put either 2 space or 4 space. I know in the in Windows you have a tab key. If you tap, and it will have like a tab. Usually we have 4 space. Okay, but you got to worry about that, because you have better to just put 2 space or use the space key, like either 2 space or 4 space. And today we already learned this one called if, and also else, if and else. Okay, and we haven't tried this yet, called shorthand if, and we are going to try somehow later. And yes, And we also will try and, this keyword and, or all. Yeah, they are all fun. So what I want you to do today is, after this class, you go to the W3 schools, and in Python, I want to try yourself. Like, go to here and you click try yourself. And what you need to do, just change the A and B, like 330 and 250, something like this. And then you click run and see if there's something show up here or not. And I want you to try all of these, try yourself in this page. Okay, you try all of them. And what you need to do, just click try yourself, okay, and then click run, and you are going to change this number to different number and see it work or not.